Okay, so back in business again, and this time we'll try to get this main code updated with this text routine. However, just a couple of small things. In this, the branch that I wanted to simplify a little bit here, where was it? Here. It's very few bytes you are talking about. So here, for example, we load the accumulator with F. And in this case, it's not necessary to do a jump. We can actually just do a branch if not equal to 0, which will always be true in this case. So it's a little bit cheating, but we save ourselves a couple of bytes. I'm not sure if that's gonna do it. Let's try it. And let's just be a little bit lazy. And that does it. But it also messes everything up. Oh, that's awesome. Now why in the heck? Well, because we need that one. And then it's too far again. So it's what we can do is this one actually. We can put that here, can we not? See if that works. Yes, we can. So there we go. All done. So then we got rid of that also. So fine. One last check. It's all good. Now the setup part here, that is this part here, and also the pre-setup of the X register to select the text line. However, that, let's see, we need this one to count the width of the lines. And we're doing it again down here. And we are actually, that is a absolute address, and it is also an absolute address here. Now I thought this was gonna be easier, but we somehow need to prepare this one and that one to point to the same, and we need to pass it from outside the subroutine. So I'm planning on doing it like that. So for this part, it's 57 count line. Yeah, so that has to be updated as well. So here, yeah, very good. So I can't just move this outside of the subroutine because basically it needs to stay here because it is updated all the time. So I'm going to have to pass the actual text line pointer of 16 text line into zero page register. I'm just going to use number 2. Yeah. So when this is called, I am going to do the set p register 2 into, well, actually I'm not going to use it because I will store it 2 places. So set p register 2 low. I will store this to the SMC text counter, and I will also store it to the SMC text pointer. Yes. And then we'll do the same for the high byte. And it will be +1. Now, will that work? No, it will not. Let's take a look, why not? So the subroutine is located at 0860, so D0850 or whatever. So what? 06 C, yeah, here. So this is where the subroutine starts. And it's 0 and 5. So it will write 00 to 04 and 5B to 05. It will fetch that and store the low bytes. It will fetch that and store the low bytes. 087D, that is that one. Seems to be correct. And that's 5B01. Could it be that I shouldn't mess up the set p register 2? Could be. So let's use the X and the Y then. Low byte to the text line. And the high byte to the hex line. Text line, sorry. And then we will just low byte, high byte. This is just to check that he actually updates the values. Alright, so he passes then, use the X and Y register to pass the data to the subroutine. Subroutine then writes that to the pointers. And that should work, but it doesn't. So that part should be fine. That's just counting it. This is... I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work. This overwrites 0 point register 2, so it shouldn't have been any problem to use that actually either, but okay. Done print line. So what does that do? Done print line. RTS. That's exactly what we want it to do. Okay, that was peculiar. Let's just see what is actually coming out on the monitor here. Make that a little bigger. So 0868. 68. So he writes it to 0875, 0876, 75. Well, here's something funny. Ah, okay. He's actually... oh god. Okay, so he's actually making this into a zero page address because I just wrote it to 000. I believe it's a possibility to do that. And I wish this monitor could pop up on the same place, D0886 was it or something. And that so exactly where did that go? So here we go. Okay, so now I added the absolute, force it to be absolute. So I need to do the same with the other one then also. Dot absolute. Still doesn't help though, but hopefully a little bit better. D0850. So let's see, it's 5B4D. So the text line, let's see, text line. Well, that's interesting. The first thing he does here is to count the text counter. And the text counter, text line should only go from 5B00 to 5B08. So how come he's going all the way to 4BD at this point? There's something funny here. So fetch that value, check if it's FF. I haven't messed with that, have I? Text line, there's the FF, no. Anybody have any bright ideas? E is down there. Calculates that part. Let's just. I find it very interesting that he. Hang on. Yeah, 5B C9. C9, that is the end of the char set vector high. There is some 0 zeros here, so that's couldn't be that. Let's just cool our heads here and take a look again. So he does a compare x at this point. Okay, so the x he writes to 0875, which is the low byte, and the y he puts to 0876, which is the high byte. So 5B00. Read the x, or read the value into x. Check if it's FF. If it's equal to FF, skip to 0E8E, which is here. And then fetch the width from the width table, add it to 2 and store it to 2. Increase the 0875, which is the low byte, and then do the low byte and the high byte. Jump up to 0868, which is of course up here, which it shouldn't be. Let's try that. There you go. Another ridiculous mistake, but anyway. So he was jumping back up to the top and he was rewriting these ones every time when the X with the, so it's just stuck there. Okay. I think that should be it then. So this is how I call the routine. Reset set to register 1. and move the location I want to write to, and then which text line, and then just call the sub, and it should be good. So I think we should be rocking with that. That means that this thing here, we can just delete all of this stuff, and we'll just copy it from there. I can't remember everything I've changed and not, so let's just delete it. There's nothing else here, is it? No, I don't think so. Let's delete that. And also, we are not going to be calling this from the interrupt. So I'll remove it from there for now. Let's just see that this works. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's go here. Copy all this stuff. Put this back here like that. Now that should be alright. And then the actual call. I'll do that in the setup up here. So let's see, before I start the raster IRQ stuff. I will need some definitions here. We'll bring those with us as well. Okay. Does it start now? Yes, it does. It messes everything up here, of course, but that's fine. That is because I am actually now printing it on top of where the character set is for the logo, but that's fine. If I put this to 14, and there we go. Actually, I'll put it to 13. And it's one line below. Yes, that should be fine. So that should be +4, so that's 17. That should be +4, so that should be 21. Yes, there we go. 3 lines, done. And looks like we're finally getting somewhere. There's one thing though that I'm not doing, and that is clearing the bitmap memory. It looks like it's cleared here, but this is an emulator thing, so I should basically do a clear memory of all the bitmap graphics area. So if you run it on a real thing, not that I will release this as anything, but if you run it on a real thing, it's going to probably show a lot of garbage. But this is good. We have successfully moved this into the main code as a subroutine. And what's remaining now is basically, first of all, I'm going to try to change the screen frequency to 60 Hertz, so the scrolling looks a little bit smoother. And then I'm going to make the color of this text black up in the setup. The reason for that is I want to, once the thing starts, it'll just take a little while and then it will fade in the 3 lines with some color cycling. So I think that's it. That's all I want to do with it for now. But that's for next time. So so far so good. A lot of brain cracking, and as always, you see there's a small mistake, and it sometimes can be hard to spot. But just stick at it, and sooner or later you'll figure it out. And if you sometimes do get stuck, okay, take a break, and sleep on it. Sometimes that clears your mind. But I think that's it for today, and then we'll get back to finalizing this next time. So, as usual, take care and keep up the hard coding work, guys, and see you next time. Cheers.